So real fast, shout out to James for posting an article about this. Shout out to Taylor for posting this on Twitter as well. But this whole Joe Burrow situation has really just, I guess, mind-boggled me. Because it doesn't make any sense at all. So this whole week, we have been told Joe Burrow's going to play, right? Joe Burrow is the guy. He's going to play. Have they directly said it? No, but they have hinted at it. He has taken first-team reps. He's full participant in practice Wednesday and Thursday, limited on Friday. And it was really the guy, yeah, he was going to play versus the Patriots. It made sense. If you're going to play him against the Ravens, because you would want him to play on Sunday so he can get his feet wet, kind of get some snaps before he plays against the divisional opponent. And here's a doctor who even said, I don't see a significant difference between playing Sunday versus playing Thursday. Playing Sunday would allow him to get his feet wet before the Thanksgiving game. At this stage of recovery, an extra 3 days of rest isn't likely to make a meaningful difference. The Bengals medical staff believes he is ready. They should feel comfortable letting him play on Sunday. Now, obviously, he's not playing on Sunday. He's not playing today, which mind boggles me. Because as the doctor says right here, why not? Right? If he's going to play on Thursday, which right now, again, is a growing suspicion, why would he not just play today? Because, again, as the doc says, a couple more days of rest isn't really like it's going to change much at all. And this, I guess you could say, is my tinfoil hat segment, but not really. I'm not calling it a tinfoil hat segment, but I feel like it kind of is. I still feel like the reason why they hyped him up to play on Sunday today is because they wanted people to go to the game. They didn't want people to sell their tickets, right? Bengals fans to sell their tickets. They wanted people to go to the game. And Patriots fans, let's be honest, they're very loyal. They're going to try to fill Paycor as much as humanly possible. And the Bengals didn't want that. They wanted, obviously Bengals fans at the game, not just Patriots fans. So that's what my assumption is. They did it because they wanted people to go to the game. And they felt, well, if Joe Flacco is the quarterback, we saw last week versus the Steelers, Joe Flacco and that offense looked awful. So people probably won't go to the game. So in a way, they, again, 100% actually, if that is the case, they misled everyone to try to get people to go to the game. That's my tinfoil hat idea, right? Because, again, it doesn't make sense. Why would he not play today, yet play on Thursday? Because the first game back, being against a divisional opponent like the Ravens, who are known for, hitting after the whistle, going after players after the play. They're not as bad as the Steelers, but they are known for, dirty shots on us. Why would you want his first game back to be that game? It doesn't make any logical sense unless he just wasn't ready. And this whole thing this week was all a stunt just so that they could, potentially get people to actually go to the game. So that's really all I could think of is the reason why. Because at this point, there's really no other reason why he wouldn't be playing today. Other than, yeah, it's probably because of the fact that they wanted people to actually go to the game. And they knew Joe Flacco, after last week, if he plays today, which he is, people are going to be like, I don't know if this game's going to be any good. This game might be crap because we saw him last week versus Steelers. And let's be honest, the Patriots are a significant better team than the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's kind of my, again, like I said, tinfoil hat idea. But it is what it is, man. Like, again, at the end of the day, I'll be live today for this game. I'll be watching this game, kind of going through it. But if I'm right on that concept, and we'll never find out if I'm right, by the way, because I don't think they're ever going to reveal this, right? If I'm right, then that's kind of fraud right there, right? Because that's, alleged fraud, I guess you could say. I don't want to get sued. Because then that's misrepresenting the product. Like, you can't do that. It's scamming. You're scamming the fans then by saying, hey, hey, look, this guy's going to play pretty much, and then he doesn't play just so you get the people to go there. That's scamming them. You're misleading your consumers with a product that simply isn't actually going to happen. Again, allegedly. Everything here is alleged, but this is my tinfoil hat again. I guess it is my tinfoil hat segment, but I don't know. It really just irks me weirdly, because this is not the only doctor I've seen talk about this subject and be like, it doesn't make sense why he just doesn't play at that point. You're going to bring him back and he's healthy enough to practice in full. It's not like playing him on Thursday, 3 days later is going to be any difference than playing him on Sunday. Now, if we were playing the Ravens on next Sunday, it would make a lot more sense. Because then it's like, okay, that's another week of practice, another week of, going through things. But no, that's just, again, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit, maybe I'm looking too far into this, right? But something doesn't add up here. I think it's kind of the whole, they want people to go to the game. Because this week, we literally have SHOUTOUT, one of the biggest streamers in the world, as the ruler of the jungle. So, the Bengals went all out. They went all out to get SHOUTOUT, again, one of the biggest streamers out there, really big celebrity, to be ruler of the jungle. And then you also add the fact in that, again, after last week's performance, there's a lot of Bengals fans that probably just don't want to go to the game. They just don't want to watch it again if Joe Flacco's quarterback, because the Patriots have a better defense. So, again, tinfoil hat. Alleged. Confirmed. Alleged. Not confirmed. Alleged. Sorry. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just thinking. Putting the ideas out there. Tell me what, pick up what I'm laying down here. I think things got a little fishy.